What if I told you that one single hard drive could instantly go ahead and turn your PC into a full-blown retro gaming powerhouse? Well, I'm Chase Brogan, and today in this video, we're going to be taking a look at the ZieBuddy 12 terabyte gaming hard drive, a massive plug-and-play drive that comes loaded with over 100,000 games, spanning classic consoles all the way up to PS2, PS3, PS Vita, Wii U, and so much more. What really sets this thing apart is the fact that it doesn't just rely on one simple front end. It includes 6 fully built-in front ends, including Launchbox, Retrobat, Playnite, Hyperspin, Technoparrot, and even has Kodi on there as well, giving you multiple ways to browse, organize, and launch your games depending on how you'd like to play them. So the big question is, does this actually live up to the hype? Well, that's what we're going to find out in this video. We're going to go ahead and set this thing up. We're going to tour through everything that this has to offer in each of those front ends, and then dive into some games and see what the performance is like on here using this with my gaming PC. Let's dive into it. Alright guys, so here we are loaded up into this 12 terabyte plug and play game drive. So you can see here we have Hyperspin, we have Technoparrot, we have Kodi over here, so if you want to enjoy videos, movies, TV, you can go in there. We're not going to go into that today, we're going to focus just on gaming. We've got Launchbox over here, we've got Playnite over here, we've got Retrobat, and then we are back to where we started with Hyperspin Attraction. So let's dive into Hyperspin just to kick everything off here. So we're going to go ahead and select that. And over here on the right hand side, you can see we have all these different collections. So if you are an arcade enthusiast like myself, look at all these MAME games. We've got right here in this collection alone, 11,241 games. Again, this is MAME right here. So we also have MAME 2-player games, we have 4-player games, we have 70s games. So these are basically sub-collections, right? These are going to just give you a little, I guess, a more specific way of narrowing things down. So like if you're looking for 90s games, which I grew up in the 90s, these are the games that I'm going to relate to most. This right here has 5,006 games from the 90s. So let's go up into that first one though. That's going to be like our master collection of classic arcade MAME games, 11,241 games. Let's launch into that. So this is the layout within. Now there is background sounds, music, all that good stuff. I've muted everything just for the sake of this video, so I'm not competing with that with the audio here today. But you can see as we scroll through here, there are some duplicates here. Now, are these the exact same version? Let's wait for them to load in. So this one right here is bootleg Hack of Japan set. This one right here is Japanese version right there. You can see the version next to 1943. So there are a couple different versions here. This is Rev B, Japanese release here. So you can see there's a lot of 1943 though. I'm never going to go into this game. I mean, nothing against this game. Look at it though. It's fairly basic, to put it delicately. I don't need all these different versions. So a little bit much for my personal taste. I think it's just a lot of bloat on here. But we'll keep it moving. 1944, there's 3 versions of 1944. This one right here is a different version, different game version. 1945K3, you can see here 3 versions of that. 1991 Spikes, there's 2 versions of that. So definitely a lot of duplicates. I know some people are going to say, hey, they're different versions. Yeah, but do you really need them all? So kind of inflates it. Open Ice, one of my favorite games right here, 2-on-2 Open Ice Challenge. This is the NBA Jam, but for hockey. So this is basically the equivalent of that. Great game, 2 different versions though. Again, don't need 2 different versions. So we're going to kind of just cruise through here because I think this is important to show, you know, how many additional titles there are for each game listed. So right here, for example, we've got 3 of this, 64th Street. I believe that's a detective story. We have 720 Degrees. This is a great skateboarding game, one of the early skateboarding games. 1986. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different versions of that on here. So, yeah, I mean, it's a bit much. But there's still a great selection of titles. I saw AV Cop up there, which I love. Great game. So just scrolling through here again, it seems like almost every title. Man, Action 2000 has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different versions right there. I can understand, okay, 1 or 2, but 10, a little bit excessive. And that's why you end up with 100,000 games on a game drive like this. So I'm not necessarily, I mean, I'm critiquing it, but it is what it is. I mean, the games work, which we're going to find out as we demo stuff towards the end of this video. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit much. Now, if I hit my right shoulder button, I can jump from letter to letter here. So I want to see if Gauntlet is in here, specifically Gauntlet Legends. It's one of my favorite classic arcade games from the 90s. So we're going to scroll down here and see if the Gauntlet titles are on here. And there's probably a bunch of them because you're going to get your original Gauntlet games, you're going to get your Gauntlet Legends, you're going to get hopefully Gauntlet Dark Legacy as well. So this will be a good way of, figuring out whether, wow, there they are, whether they're on here, and they are. So the original one, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 different original Gauntlets from 1985. There's Dark Legacy right there. Love that. There's only one version of it. Cool, though. Love that game. Gauntlet 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different versions. And then Legends, my all-time favorite. 2 versions. Hey, if the games work, great. But 20 plus titles of the same title? Excessive. Okay, I think you guys get the point. Let's back out of this collection right here. We're going to hit our B button. So again, we saw all of these different MAME options here. We have flying games here. We have light gun games here. Let's take a look at the light gun games, see what there is to offer. So some basic ones, locked and loaded. We've got, what is this one? Gun Barrel. We've got Gunbuster. I'm familiar with that one. Hit and Miss. We got Hogan's Alley. All right, so we got some more, not that these are super modern at this point in time, but later release titles, late 90s. We got the House of the Dead original. We got House of the Dead 2. There's 4 versions of that. Invasion is a cool one right here for sure. Judge Dredd. This is a pretty sweet game. You can find that in PlayStation as well, but the arcade version is always going to be the best. That's what we have right here. What else do we have? Lethal Enforcers. There's a lot of Lethal Enforcers here. Lethal Enforcers 2 Gunfighters. Lost Worlds. Okay, so this is a Technoparrot game, so I'm interested to see that it's over here as well, because I would assume that would have been in Technoparrot. Now we have Mad Dog over here too. We have Mad Dog McCree over here. Somebody was just asking me if there's a game drive out there that includes that. Well, this one more than includes it. We've got Maximum Force. We've got Maze of Kings. That's also, I was going to say that was Technoparrot, but it's not Technoparrot, is it? It's Sega Naomi right in front of me. Alright, so it looks like a pretty solid selection of light gun games. Lots of duplicates in here, but then there's titles like this. I was just going to say Operation Wolf's only in here twice, but there are duplicates there. Alright, so I'm not crazy about how clean of a setup this is. Police Trainer, another one of my favorites, but that's at least, what, 6 different versions right there. Rail Chase is a cool rail shooter as well, 2 of those. Alright, let's back out. We get the point here. Alright, so we have vertical games over here. We have Marvel vs. Capcom titles here. There's 13 of those. We've got some Metal Slug titles. We've got a bunch of different Midway options here as well. So you'll find your NBA Jams in there, as you can see right here. You'll find your Cruisin', that would be Cruisin' USA right there. We've got a specific Mortal Kombat collection with 35 games. Let's take a look at that real quick. So this is going to be, 35 games, but all of these so far have been the same game. We go into Mortal Kombat 3, we go into Mortal Kombat 4, 2. So really there's 4 games in here, but there's 35 of those 4 games. So we'll back out of this one. Namco collections are in here. We've got Nintendo Arcade. We've got straight up Nintendo. The sub-collections get a little bit excessive. We have Outrun. I love the Outrun games. 24 games, though. Let's see how many... Oops, we don't want to exit out of here. Hold on. Let's go to No. Let's see how many Outrun games there truly are. So these appear to be the same. Okay, that's the Deluxe Cockpit. This is the Deluxe Sit Down, but I mean, does it really matter? Not really. Here's the original in here many times. Yeah, I mean, you're essentially playing the same game with each of these. Slightly different, like Turbo's slightly different, but yeah. All right, let's back out. Pac-Man collection, we've got, oh sweet, Pinball FX3. Let's take a quick look at Pinball FX3. So many great Marvel tables in here. Hopefully we have the Star Wars tables, because those are my personal favorite. Looks like these are, let's see, are we going to get to those? Yeah, there they are. Sweet. So we do have the Star Wars one. A New Hope is a great one. They have Rogue Squadron, they have Boba Fett. I mean, the list goes on and on here. I think there's a Han Solo there we go, Han Solo one, which is cool. Whether you like the game or not, the pinball version is great. This is probably one of my favorite, The Empire Strikes Back. Also, love this one right here, The Force Awakens. It's just a cool, interactive, modern day pinball table. So lots to choose from here. I think you'll find Jaws in here. You'll find like Jurassic Park in here. Like those were E.T.'s another great one. Doom is pretty cool. If you like the Doom games, you'll enjoy the pinball version right over here. So really cool stuff. We're going to go ahead and back out of this collection. Keeping it moving, we have some racing games here. We have some fighting games. We have a Thomas Wave. We have all the Sega collections, including, of course, Sega Model 1, 2, and 3. We have Naomi, Naomi 2. Good stuff here. We have Nomad. Just the list goes on and on here. So Neo Geo, incredible stuff here. It's a little bit excessive, not only in the collections, of course, but also with all the sub collections. Tennis games, I love tennis games. Always have, always will. Trackball games in here. I mean, this has a little bit of everything. It's just not going to be that easy, streamlined sort of setup, because they've gone in and added everything imaginable, including 22 different versions of the same game in some cases. So wrestling games here, there's 77. I gotta check it out. I love wrestling and love wrestling games. So we got Champion Wrestler. That's one you don't always see on here, so that's cool to see. Wow, there's definitely some stuff here that you don't typically see. Now, I love the Giant Graham games. We got some duplicates here for sure. We have Grudge Match. We have the Main Event, Mania Challenge. Mat Mania is a classic. Now, do we have WWF games? Because so far all of these have been just generic wrestling games. Nothing against that, but all right, here we go. We got some WWF Royal Rumble. We've got WWF Superstars. We've got WrestleFest, and you can see all the duplicates here. We've got WrestleMania. We've got Wrestle War. Lots of good titles in here, but like everything else we've seen, it's excessive with the duplicates. So we'll back out of this collection. And our all games list here for the entire thing. And we bring it right around. We've got Batman up here. We've got Atari up here. We've got Bally. We've got Bomberman. We've got bowling games. I mean, every collection imaginable is in here at least once, maybe a couple times. Data East titles. Couple Data East title collections. We have Frogger. We've got Golden Axe as its own collection. Konami, and we're back to where we started here. We landed kind of midway down the list, but still cool to see what we have at our fingertips on here. So we will go ahead and back out. We're going to confirm yes to exit. This is just us exiting out of Hyperspin. All right, next collection over is Technoparrot. Now, I think I mentioned that there was a Technoparrot game in the Hyperspin section. I think I misspoke on that. I don't think that's true. So let's go ahead and launch Technoparrot. Let's see what this has to offer. Now, I'm a huge Technoparrot fan for both racing games and then, of course, light gun games. So on here, it looks like 126 total games. We have our favorites collection, which we can customize. We have recently played, which is going to pull like 50 of your last games that you jumped into. But yes, we got some Namco in here. Looks like 5 there. We have some... Interesting, there's not a lot of sub-collections here at all. So let's jump into just straight up Technoparrot then. We'll go inside here and we'll kind of tour through this. So King of Fighters, there's a couple of those here. Let's Go Island. What else do we have here? Lost Land Adventure is a cool one. We've got Max Storm. We've got Super Mario Brothers Wii over here. Operation Ghost is a cool game. Light Gun, of course. Okay. Some Pokemon Tournament over here. We've got Project Diva Arcade. Not familiar with that one. Now, Rabbids Hollywood is a cool light gun game for sure. Radical Bikers. Man, this takes me back right here. This is basically like... I believe you are a, well, I know for a fact you are a pizza delivery guy on a Vespa, and it's basically like Crazy Taxi, but a little bit different. The arcade cabinet for this was really cool, so I like seeing stuff like that. It takes me back. Rumblefish is in here, Samurai Shodown. We've got, what else? Definitely some cool titles in here. Silent Hill Arcade is a good one. Sonic Sega All-Stars Racing Arcade. This is a cool game for sure. You can play that on some home console collections, but on here, in my opinion, is the best. We've got Star Wars Battle Pod. We've got Storm Racer. Storm Racer is a cool game as well. I always love racing games, so very cool to find those in here. We got some Street Fighter, beat 'em up style games. We got some Tomb Raider in here, more Street Fighter. Wacky Racers is cool. You can find this in some console collections, but this is the best version in my opinion. We've got some Midnight Racing over here. Bunch of those. We have Aliens Extermination. This is a great light gun game. We've got, what else? We got, oh, Batman is a cool game. This is kind of like a rail shooter meets racing game. Blade Strangers. Man, so many great games here. Contra Evolution is a great title. Daytona Championship USA. This is obviously going to have that old school sort of flair to it, but it's been totally brought up to modern day graphics. This was released in 2016. Dead or Alive 5, Dead or Alive 6. Dirty Driving is an awesome game as well. Rail shooter meets racer again. Far Cry Paradise Lost. We've got Friction here. These are great light gun games. H2 Overdrive. This is basically dirty racing, but with, I guess, that Aqua GT Hydro Thunder sort of vibe to it. More Street Fighter in here, and we are back to where we started. So we're going to go ahead and back out of this collection. We're going to back out of Technoparrot altogether. We'll confirm it with yes. And next collection over should be what? Cody we're going to skip. We have Launchbox, we have Playnite, and we have Retrobat. Let's go into Retrobat next. Retrobat is a great front end, very user-friendly, especially if you're new to emulation gaming. So this has been loading for a little bit now, not a long period of time, about 30 seconds or so, but I'm seeing all the collections flash across the screen here, so I think this is going to give us a really in-depth retro collection, and we land on Xbox 360, which I was definitely not expecting inside here. Let's take a look at what 360 has to offer. Whoa, I thought it just said 5 games there. Oh, games played 5. But on here, how many games are included? Oh, at the top, 114 games. I was thinking 5 games. Okay, 114 is a lot of Xbox 360. Now, I'm not sure that all these games are going to run, to be honest, because 360 emulation is limited at best. Alien vs. Predator, I've played that. That works. Alone in the Dark, Amped 3. So it looks like they've gone through and they've added some titles that are a little bit easier to emulate, like Backyard Football 10. I've played that. That does work well. Baja 1000, that works well. And I'm not talking about specifically on this drive. I'm talking about through emulation in general. We've got some, looked like we had some Guitar Hero there, or excuse me, Band Hero in this case. We have Bayonetta in here. Damn, they definitely have some good stuff. They have some Cars Racerama is a great game for the kids. I mean, adults can enjoy. I enjoy it too, but great family-friendly title. There's a lot of racing games in here. A lot of games I'm not familiar with, but there's some good ones as well. Def Jam Icon, Diablo 3, Forza titles, some FIFA Street titles, some Fable 2 Game of the Year edition over here. That one wasn't scraped. We have Golden Axe, Beast Rider. We have Halo 3, Grid 2, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary. I actually have a copy of this sitting on my desk right next to me right now. Wow, a lot of great stuff here. Some Need for Speed. That game's not that great. Project Gotham Racing 3 and 4. Red Dead Redemption, and we have both discs on here. Some Resident Evil. We've got the Simpsons game here. We've got Ridge Racer 6, which is a great game. That can be a tough one to emulate, but I have had some success with that. Skate, we have SSX, we have Tekken 6, Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Terminator Salvation. So these are going to be games that definitely are demanding of your PC. So you're going to need a pretty souped up gaming PC to even think about playing these titles. Now, let's go ahead and back out of this collection. We kicked it off here right at the top tier. We have PC Engine over here with 300 games. We have TurboGrafx 16 with 108 games. We have PC Engine CD-ROM, 124 games. TurboGrafx CD, 47 games. Super Graphics, 5 games. PCFX, 70 games. We have Nintendo Family Computer, 415 games. We have NES with 888 games. We have NES Hacks over here with 91 games. We have Family Computer Disk System with 214 games. We have Game Boy with 2,088 games. That's a lot of games right there. That's definitely going to give us some foreign release titles in there, but let's well, we'll jump into another one. I'm not crazy about Game Boy. I don't think that's super exciting. 525 games for Super Famicom. We have Super Nintendo with 2,172 games. Let's take a quick peek inside Super Nintendo. So here's the layout within. We do get a video preview for each of these titles, which is nicely put together. We also get cover art. We get a picture of the actual console. We get a description for the title, as well as some information there. And you can see we do have duplicates in here. So that's why we're seeing 2,000 Game Boy games, over 2,100 Super Nintendo games. There are duplicates in here. And some people will say, okay, well, they're different versions. Well, this one doesn't look like different versions. That looks like straight up the same game twice. Real Monsters, European version as well as USA version. But do they really differ all that much? Not really. So, yeah, there's a lot of duplicates in here. You're seeing it pretty much title by title, Adam's Family Values, European and USA. If you're somebody that's collecting multiple versions of ROMs, you're going to love this. For me, it's a little bit much. So we'll back out of this collection. We have Super Game Boy here. That's going to give us 239 games. We have Nintendo Satellaview. We have 85 games there. Virtual Boy is going to be a lot less, 25 games. N64, 553 games. That's pretty stacked there. So let's jump in here. We got some 007 titles at the top. World is Not Enough. In fact, in there twice. So we do have duplicates even in N64. Bugs Life is in here twice. Man, everything's in here twice. Let's just be real. Even All-Star Baseball 2000. We have European and USA. So multiple versions of every single game so far. Asteroids Hyper 64 is only in here once. I believe that's the only title so far that's in here one time and one time only. Now, let me scroll down here and let's see if we have like our Mario titles. I'm sure we do. I saw Cruisin' in there, so it looks like they are fine with adding the Nintendo games. So there we go. We got Mario Golf in here twice. We've got Mario Kart 64 in here twice. Mario Party in here twice. Party 2, 3, Tennis. Yeah, everything's in here twice. So definitely have all your favorites in abundance. Same thing with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 4, for example, in here twice. So we'll back out of this collection. I'd rather have it in here twice than not at all. Let's, just being honest. But it does make for a really, just overpopulated collection. Game Boy Color, 1,959 games. Way too many games there, so I'm sure it's safe to say that we have duplicates. We do. 10-pin bowling, 102 Dalmatians twice. That one looks like it's actually in here 3 times. They just changed the title of it once. Yeah, and then we also have like the 4-in-1, 8-in-1 packs. I mean, those, I never understood why those get added in here, because you're going to have those titles in here by themselves as well. Not everything is scraped, as you can see. This one, media missing here. Some have it, some don't. We'll back out of this collection. N64, disk drive, 10 games there. Nintendo GameCube, 638 games. Let's take a look at GameCube. Hopefully there's no duplicates inside here. That would be kind of silly to have. Looks like this one's clean from what I'm seeing so far, meaning it's, the titles are in here once and only once. Backyard Baseball, football. Yeah, I mean, pretty nice selection of titles too. I mean, 600 plus games. That's a lot of GameCube on here. That's why we have 12 terabytes though. It accommodates so much. But let's think about if they didn't go ahead and add in all those duplicates of each title. They probably gotten all this stuff onto like a 6 terabyte, because almost every game's in here twice, which is obviously taking up twice as much storage space. So it looks like a pretty sweet selection. I want to see if we have the wrestling games. We're going to have to hold on for the duration, since those would be down in the W's. I should have looped around the opposite way. But yeah, we got the Donkey Kong titles in here. Konga 2 and 3. We've got Dragon Ball Z titles in here. We've got the Enter the Matrix game, which is a 2-disc game. Great game. FIFA Soccer, FIFA Street, Frogger. We've got Gauntlet Dark Legacy in here. GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which is a 2-disc game. Harry Potter titles, Hitman title. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty sweet. I'm definitely liking this. Looks like all the Lord of the Rings games as well, even the multi-disc versions. We have Luigi's Mansion in here, which is, of course, a favorite. We have Mario Golf, we have Mario Kart Double Dash, we've got Mario Party 4, 5, 6, and 7, Mario Power Tennis, which I love. So many great games on here. Medal of Honor titles as well. Some of those are 2-disc games. So let's hold this down. I saw NHL, NFL, NBA, tons and tons. Whoops, went back too far. Lots of great stuff in here. I'm impressed. So I just want to see now, do we have the WWF titles? And there were only a handful. Crush Hour. If Crush Hour's on here, I can say that we probably have everything, because that game sucks. Day of Reckoning 1 and 2, those are great titles. WrestleMania 19, WrestleMania 18. Spent so many hours, days, months playing those games. So we've got them all. I'm impressed. All right, let's back out of GameCube. We've got Game Boy Advance coming in next with 3,387 games. That's like twice as many games as what we need on there. So definitely a lot of duplicates there, I can safely say. 22 games here for the Game Boy Advance hacks. We got Pokemon Mini with 30 games. We got Nintendo DS with 6,889 games. There's going to be foreign releases on here, I'm sure, but let's take a quick peek inside. So there's a lot of, there's a lot of bloat on here, like titles that I don't think many people are going to play, but there's, the good stuff is mixed in as well. Especially with that number, everything's here. Let's back out. We've got Wii. Wii has 887 games. That's a lot of Wii games. And this one doesn't seem to be as padded with duplicates. I'm not going to say that there's no duplicates, but so far I'm not seeing any. So it looks like they may have dumped in every single Wii game, and we have WiiWare games as well, it looks like. So we're going to back out of this. WiiWare is the next collection with 403 games. We've got Wii U over here with 110 Wii U games. That's insane. That might be the most Wii U games I've seen on a game drive. And again, there's a lot of titles in here like you would never catch me playing those games. But there's some good stuff in here as well, like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. DuckTales Remastered is a great game. FIFA 13. Kirby and the Rainbow Curse. So you have to kind of weed out the crap and find the titles that you're looking for, but collections like this where it's not, loaded with duplicates, I'm a fan of, for sure. We've got Mario Kart 8 in here. There's 2 of that version. That's okay, though. It's few and far between with the duplicates in here. We've got Mario Tennis Ultra Smash. We got Mario vs. Donkey Kong. So I'm happy with this collection here. Let's back out of that one. We have Nintendo 3DS next. This is going to give us 493 games. We got Super Nintendo MSU1 Media Enhancement with 156 games. And we have Nintendo Switch, which I did not know was going to be on here. 203 Nintendo Switch games. Let's see what Nintendo Switch games we have. Man, it's going to be crazy when Switch 2 games start popping up on these game drives, because I don't think they're going to be all that tough to emulate. Bayonetta 1 and 2. We got 3 over here as well. We've got Origins. We've got a lot of titles here. Captain Toad again. We've got some Capcom games. Obviously, there's crossover between this and Wii U. A lot of games that I would never play, to be honest, but there's some good ones mixed in, just like every collection. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this, is that it's not a perfectly curated collection. It's just essentially a ROM dump, but a pretty significant ROM dump, collection by collection here. Yeah, it looks like they've got everything you can think of. Zelda titles as well. Kirby games. All the Mario games, it seems. I won't say all the Mario games, but most of the Mario games. Oh, I was thinking the Super Mario ones are missing, but there they are. Of course, they would be under S. We've even got Cowabunga Collection here, as well as Shredder's Revenge for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. House of the Dead remakes even on here. Wow. Lot of stuff here. Okay, so let's back out of Switch. Again, 203 titles here. We have Philips CD 55. We got Beats of Rage, Open Bore. We've got 126 titles there. We got some homebrew and ports with 5 games. We got Scum VM with 62 games. There's so many point and click games there, like the Indiana Jones games. I actually want to see if those are on here. I guess we'll go from the top. Elvira's on here. Full Throttle's on here. Loom's on here. Guess we went right by where Indiana Jones would be. But okay, so Indiana Jones is not on here. Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, I mean, that would have been the games that I would have jumped into. But, all right. Back out. Backyard Baseball is a good one. I remember playing this as a kid. All right, let's back out. We have SG-1000 here with 75 games. We have Master System with 335 games. We got Genesis over here with 946 games. Mega Drive with 916. So these aren't as padded as the Nintendo collections were. Like Super Nintendo compared to Mega Drive or Genesis. Very different. Excuse me, I jumped ahead too far. We've got Mega Drive hacks over here with 29. We've got Genesis hacks with 159. We've got Game Gear with 335. Sega CD with 163. Sega CD 32X with 35. We've got Sega Saturn with 306. Let's take a look inside Saturn. And this is nicely put together too. There's not duplicates in here. There's a couple multi-disc games, of course, but this looks to be pretty complete and nicely put together. And of course, you do get the video previews here as well. Let's take a look at the Championship Circuit Edition of Daytona USA. Populates in very nicely. Backing out, we have Dreamcast next, one of my favorite collections. 333 Dreamcast games. You can't ask for much more there. So Four Wheel Thunder towards the top, Alone in the Dark I see. Let's go the opposite way. We've got WWF Royal Rumble, we got WWF Attitude, Virtua Tennis, of course. Gotta have that. Although I'm not seeing Virtua Tennis 2. So it's not a complete collection, but still very nicely put together. Back out of this collection, we have some additional ones down here as well. Neo Geo Pocket. We have PlayStation, original PlayStation, 18 and 4. So 1,804 games. I'd say that's complete. We have PS2, 641 games for PS2. Let's take a look inside PS2. So nicely put together. Video previews work. Got all the 007 titles. So many great 007 titles for PS2. 25 to Life over here. Let's loop around the opposite way. I want to see if the WWF games, or it would have been WWE by then, if they are on here. And doesn't look like they are. Interesting. How do you leave off all the WWF games? That's a bad move right there. I'm not crazy about the fact that they left off like the SmackDown games. Man, even if I know people that aren't even wrestling fans. I know people that can't stand wrestling that love those games. Tomb Raider games, Tony Hawk Pro Skater games, Tom Clancy is stacked here. Yeah, I mean, good selection of titles. Looks like a good mix between fighting, racing, shoot 'em ups, first-person shooter. Yeah, I mean, it's got a little bit of everything. Did we just see The Godfather? Such a great game. Spent so much time playing that one. But yeah, man, you got to add the WWF games or WWE games. Backing out, we have PSP in here next with 825 games. I'd say that's pretty complete then. I mean, we have PSP Minis games over here, 312. I like the fact that they switched those up because some people will, or not some people, some brands or game drive companies will put together PSP with PSP Minis, and it kind of pads the numbers. We have PS3, 172 games. Wow. That's impressive. That's a lot. Quantum of Solace is a great 007 game. I see Batman Arkham Asylum and City. Beowulf, Bioshock 2, a bunch of Call of Duties in here. Captain America, Castlevania. Devil May Cry, Dead Space I saw. Some FIFA. Guitar Hero. Looks like a lot of the Guitar Heroes, if not all of them. Hellboy. Ice Age, Jurassic the Hunted, bunch of Lego titles in here, Mass Effect in here, Got some NASCAR. We've got some MotoGP. We've got some NFL. Resident Evil. Ridge Racer 7. Okay, that's a great one. One of my favorites. Anybody that watches this channel has seen me, play that game time and time again. Soul Calibur. Looks like all the Soul Caliburs for PS3 are on here. Lots of good stuff, man. I'm really impressed by this one as well. So even though there's so much padding on each of these collections, I still, at the end of the day, do think that there's a lot of value here. It's just you got a lot of stuff to cut through to find what you're looking for, but pretty decent. Yakuza, Dead Souls. Always enjoyed that as well. Alright, so PS Vita. Now this is a collection you don't typically see in a lot of emulation drives, 78 games here. And because it's not in a lot of these, I really don't have a whole lot of experience playing PS Vita. I never had the console growing up. I was a little bit older when that came out, so I just didn't play it. And then I feel like with emulation, it's just kind of overlooked. So I don't have a lot of experience here, but we have Ridge Racer. We have some cool titles that I'm seeing. Zen Pinball 2 is in here. Interesting. Some foreign release titles. Quite a few. Alright, so we'll back out of this collection. We have Supervision in here, and then we have our all games list. All games, so there's 48,034 games inside Retrobat. We have Arcade up here at the top. We have Light Gun games. We have Last Played, Amstrad CPC, GX4000. We have all the Atari collections, it looks like. Lynx, Jaguar, ST, 5200, 800, 2600, etc. We have ColecoVision, 166 games there. Commodore 64, 2616. We have Amiga even, 1,798 Amiga games. We have Amiga CD, Commodore CD TV. We have Megaduck. We have Intellivision, Vectrex, MSX, and original Xbox. And remember, we started at Xbox 360 right here, so let's go into the original Xbox collection. 62 games here. Definitely a lot less than PS2, but you got to think about the emulator. The Xbox emulator is way more limited than the PS2 emulator. So 007 Agent Under Fire, I always loved that game. We have 25 to Life. There's definitely crossover here between this and the PS2 collection, but then we have titles that were specifically only for Xbox, like Brute Force, for example. Interested to see if Halo is on here. We have Fable, we have Forza Motorsport. Those are going to be Xbox specific. But let's see, do we have Halo on here? I'm not seeing Halo. We do have Halo Combat Evolved for Xbox 360, so maybe that was a strategic decision to not bother, adding it in here, because the better version would be the 360 version. Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2X. I love this game, and being able to play it with the better graphics here in Xbox versus PS2, Dreamcast, or N64. Definitely a pretty sweet find. Smashing Drive is a cool game as well. Jet Set Radio Future, that's in here twice, but I'm okay with that. Heroes of the Pacific is a good game if you like Afterburner. This is obviously that same sort of style, but light years later on. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty impressed by this one as well. So we'll back out. Yeah, I mean, all in all, so far, I would say it's very much aligned with what we experienced in the previous collections, where you are getting a lot of games at your fingertips, but you're going to have to comb through a lot of those duplicates to find what you're looking for. So let's back out of this collection. Alright guys, so here we are now in Playnite. Playnite is going to give you your AAA PC games. So looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 across. And we've got 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times 7 is 35. So 36 games in total here. And you can see we have Tomb Raider Underworld. We have Tomb Raider Anniversary. We got some Street Fighter in here, some Resident Evil in here, Rage 2's in here. Horizon Chase Turbo, Grand Theft Auto, Vice City. We've got some King of Fighters in here. We have some Mega Man, some MotoGP. We've got some more Grand Theft Auto. We've got 5 and San Andreas here. We've got God of War. We've got Final Fantasy, FIFA 19. We got Elden Ring in here, Dragon Ball Z in here, Dragon Quest, Devil May Cry 5. We've got Cyberpunk, and we've got a ton of Angry Birds up here. It looks like, what, 6 titles? No, 5 titles. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, 6 titles of Angry Birds, including 2 Star Wars, 1 Space, Yeah, I mean, there's some pretty sweet titles in here. I would say that these are Just Cause 4. I didn't even see that. Yeah, I mean, there's some decent titles in here. Nothing that's like, a game changer for me. Nothing that I don't have access to already, but still cool to get in here and, access a few of these titles as well. So we're going to back out of this one.
Battle 1. Fight! KO! Battle 2. Fight! Ring out. 15 left.
Use magic to kill enemies. Collect gold to buy power-ups.
We toured through everything that this 12 terabyte plug and play game drive right here has to offer. This is a 6-in-1, including Kodi, of course, but I do want to make mention of, if you watched the entire video here, you probably saw that I never jumped into Launchbox. Now, Launchbox for me didn't work right out of the gate. I'm used to using Launchbox. I've done a lot with emulation. If you're new to the channel, I have tutorials on here. I have a lot of stuff for years and years that I've been doing with emulation. So I was able to get Launchbox up and running and basically just accessed all of the ROMs that are included in Retrobat. So because Retrobat and Launchbox are pretty much the same, I chose to just go into Retrobat today because the offering at the end of the day is exactly the same in terms of ROMs and collections. So worth mentioning that Launchbox was a little bit, it required a little bit to get it up and running, but still, you have a lot of games here. So this costs right around, at the time of this recording, $248.88. Because it's on AliExpress and there's an exchange rate at play for most of us that are buying from there, prices will fluctuate. So let's call it around $250 for this. Now, they're advertising 100,000 plus games, and there's 100,000 plus ROMs on here, but not truly 100,000 plus games because there's so many duplicates. And we jumped into the MAME collection to start everything off, and we were seeing at one point 22 of the same game. So lots to comb through in order to find what you're looking for. I personally find it to be annoying when, I'm looking at a screen that's just the same title over and over again, and I have to scroll and scroll and scroll just to get away from that one single title. Some people are going to like that because there's different versions there. Not every single ROM, even though it looks at face value like the same, it may be a little bit different. Maybe a bootleg, it might be a different revision, it might be just a different version in general. I'll argue that we don't need 22 different versions of the same title. I think I can speak for us all with that one. One or two, sure, they may be a little bit different, but 22, it's excessive. And I think that the reason for it is just to pad the numbers, because marketing a game drive that has 100,000 plus games at face value seems more attractive than marketing a game drive that has 25 to 30,000 games, which is probably the true count here. Still, $250 for what you get, even if it's just 30,000 games, it's massive value. Look at Sega Saturn games, what they cost these days to track down physical copies. Look at GameCube games. I mean, it's definitely worth $250, even if you have to comb through 22 of the same game to find what you're looking for. So I'm not going to beat them up too badly on that. I think I beat them up enough as we toured through this. It still works. Jumping into Xbox, for example, Xbox is a collection that emulation can be a little bit funny with. Sometimes it doesn't work right out of the gate on a game drive like this. It did here. Now, I can't say that every single game on here works, but every single game that I jumped into did work very well for original Xbox. Now, Xbox 360, a little bit hit or miss there. I would say actually the majority of the Xbox 360 games that I jumped into did not work properly. So don't get this for Xbox 360. If a couple Xbox 360 games work, great. But Xbox is where it's at here. GameCube, Wii U, Nintendo Wii, Nintendo Switch, all of that I had no issue with. PS2, PS3, and so on. All that stuff worked great. All the MAME collections worked great. Dreamcast, Sega Naomi, the list goes on and on. There's tremendous value here. And the gameplay experience is very good. If you can look over the fact that you're going to be combing through tons of duplicates, collection by collection on here. I overlooked it, and I had a good experience. But it's not that custom, perfectly curated system that I think we all really want to have. So get this for simply gaming, as long as you're willing to comb through those duplicates to find the games you're looking for, or use this as a source to build your own setup. That's what I would do. There's tons of ROMs on here that you can go ahead and extract right from here if you want to. Connect it to your PC, pull the ROMs that you want, and build your own system that has exactly what you're looking for on here. That's where I think the true value is here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments of this video. Hit me up. Do you like what it offers? Do you think that it's just a muddy setup? Let me know. I'm interested to hear your take on it. To learn a little bit more about this product, click the link in the description of this video. That's going to do it for today, though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for enjoying the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.